Okay, in this video I'm going to be teaching you how to solve every Rubik's Cube blindfolded. Not every Rubik's Cube, test every Rubik's Cube I can solve blindfolded. My 2x2x3 broke, so I'm going to just use the 2x2x4 because its method is just the 2x2x3, but plus the 2x2 method, basically. Kind of, so I'll show you how I start. We'll start with the easiest one, 2x2, because I solved it. Because actually I've solved one faster yesterday, literally yesterday. I solved one faster. My pyramid faster. I got big, but it was actually just a 4-move scramble, which wouldn't have been illegal. So 2x2, how I solve it blind. So this would be, I'll just show you. It'd be the pieces A, B, C, D, E, F, G, I, J, K, H, I, J, K, L, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X. So then it would swap these pieces, this piece, the out, which is a T, it's not a T, it's a Y perm, but without the F at the beginning. So it's just a Y perm without the F at the beginning. So then do it, swap these two, so how I'd solve it. So if you look, so let's give me this Rubik's scramble. So using this would go into V, so we'd swap. Then this would go into D. And we got the piece that's supposed to go right here, so swap here, so then we just go to any piece, so I'll do W, so that's easy. Then we need to guess, W goes to N. So what did I messed up, let me fix that. Let's get it. Okay, so you get it then. So you get out and solve it blindfolded. Now on to the next one, let's do 3x3 because why not? Okay, so 3x3, I do the same thing with corners, but how the edges I do them, I do a T-perm. So like this. And also, if we get an odd number of pieces, how I do it, I would do a R-perm, the one that does this one. See that R-perm? So then I would do that R-perm. Then I would do a U-prime after that R-perm, and it would fix the parity, which is what I call parity. So then the pieces are A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X. So you know how I solve it. And so now let's get into pyramids. Pyramids is gonna be one part that I'm gonna want to more explain. If you want actually one in more deeper tutorials, tell me which one you want me to give you a better tutorial for. This one I've been learning. I actually got 1 second solve yesterday, but it was a 4-minute scramble, so it doesn't count. So now I'll show you. So first we wanted to get it to where all the centers are solved. So if we have something like this, instead of memorizing where each piece goes, unless it's actually a good position, you can figure out where each piece goes. It would be best to just do this. So what you do, I would say, so this need to be an R, L prime. So then I would say, so the R would be U. So it would be, you do a right, the out that, you know, soon basically. And then this is L prime, so that means I do left soon. What did I do? But then it would get it would basically to all the same spot, so all the edges are in the same spot as they were. So then you would learn how to swap them using this alg. You would swap them, so I'd memorize where each piece swaps. So mostly every free piece swap alg. My favorite swap alg is that. And then sometimes I may end up like this. And then last, I would memorize where every piece that ends up flip would be, and so then I would do them, flip them with that out. Yeah. So this is this out. There's this soon, and then there's also backwards soon, which is that. And there's also flip alg, which is just a sledge. Then a U, R, L prime, U prime, L. Okay, so now on to the next one. Let's do Scube. So how I do Scube. So first of all, I would memorize where the centers are. I may have, if you want to get, so what you're gonna do, you try and get, doesn't matter where the centers are. So it could be like this. So Yeah, I'll show this example. So if it ended up, if you have all 4 pieces in one spot, in one side, it doesn't matter if they're flipped or not. That means you can get the centers stay where they are, so you don't have to memorize where they move. But you may have to memorize a few moves where they move, but no matter. And if they're flipped, you do the flipping out. So, and the flipping out, you'll memorize that one does like a weird. So one flips these two this way. I mean these two this way, and this way, and one flips like this, and this. But so then I would memorize how it flipped it. So then I would memorize where this case is. So then what I do either 2 backward sledges to get it to flip the corners without moving the centers, or I do, if there was other case, I'll do a double sledge and a double sledge. I'll show you actually. Yeah, so right here, if I do a sledge, 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 sledge. So right here, let's see this piece. You do it on this side of this piece. Then you do it on move it right there, and all the pieces. Yeah, but then I would memorize where, then I would memorize how I would figure out how I would swap them, the centers, like this maybe. Then we do that. Then we do this. Okay, now on to the next one. Let's do this. So how I do it, I would figure out how to get the shape. And I also learn where the edges are, and figure out how to get the corners. So it's like this. Then I would figure out how to where to flip the edges. Yeah. That's pretty simple. Yeah, mostly simple. Now onto this cube. So I'll do both. Show you both. So this will be 2x2x3 and 2x2x4. So first, this is gonna be hard. So you would memorize where each of these pieces would go. So you're trying to get the center first. So then where each of those pieces go, that's where the center is gonna end up. So where these pieces, and you look at the top pieces above them, and that's where the pieces for the second step is. And you would just do the same thing as the 2x2 to swap these. So like if I want to swap this orange and green all the way over here, I can do this. I don't like the color scheme with this cube I have. And then once you get it, I'll just do it. And then once you do it, so you would do like the same, the 2x2x3. So you do R2 U prime R2. Wait, no. R2 U R2. No. R2 U prime R2 U R2 D R2 U R2 U prime. I think so. Then we do this. So if we get this blue and red swap, R2 U U prime R2 D R2 U prime to U. Yeah, that's how it is. So you do R2 U R2 U prime R2 D R2 U prime R2 U R2, and you do a U D prime. Okay, and it would swap those. And now on the platypus cube, basically I learned how the cycles would go. This is the one I don't know at least, but yeah. So I learned how the cycles would go. So I know this cycle. I'll do a free cycle, kind of like how, but I learned where the free cycles would cycle these pieces, and I would learn that cycle would cycle those pieces. So then I figure out where each piece cycles. Kind of like the pyramids, but a little bit more difficult, especially with like twice as much pieces. But that's how I solve them all blind. So if you want more better tutorials, that's not one. Tutorials, make sure you like and subscribe and comment which tutorial you want me to go deeper into. I don't want to go deeper into 2x2 and 3x3 much. I want to go deeper into other one to help others with other cubes, because I figured out some pretty good ways to solve them. Thanks for watching, and grab in the video.